For ye are the servants of the immortal Emperor. As Emperor hath said, I will dwell in them, and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Emperor, and touch not the unclean mutant, and I will receive you.
Bosh, what's that going on about?
Yes, my fellow loyalists, we have come to save you.
Hooray, it's the Ecclesiarchy.
From yourselves!
Oh no, it's the Ecclesiarchy. The decrees are simple. Only use infantry for combat. Honorary infantry, such as the Living Saint, are allowed when needed. Commanders are allowed. A shepherd must lead their flock. The run will be done on hard difficulty. Soulstorm introduces two new factions, the Sisters of Battle and Dark Eldar. The former are nuns with guns, and the latter are evil space elves. Actually, the craft worlders are pretty crafty too. Crazy evil space elves. For bondage-themed crazy evil space elves. Wait, Gilliman did what with a what?
Emperor willing will receive the least heretical option.
We will take Jerusalem! Deus Vort!
The Sisters of Battle are the military arm of the Adeptas Sororitas, a division of the Imperial Church. After a rebellion led by a crazy guy was put down, men could no longer take up arms for the Church. Women, however, were fair game. These brave warriors now carry out the Emperor's will, performing incredible acts of heroism through determination and faith. The Sisters of Battle use faith to power their spells, which include healing and
the divine wrath of the Emperor.
To generate faith, they need to convert points to relics or create faithful units. While not as numerous as the Imperial Guard or as strong as the Space Marines, they serve as a formidable middle ground between the two. Also, fire.
Burn them all!
Our ministry begins on Kaurava 1, with our sole neighbor being the Imperial Guard under General Vance Stubbs. Now, the uninitiated would assume the Guard would be our natural allies in this endeavor. It is common sense, after all.
But common sense is for heretics!
We had access to a mix of battle sisters, Seraphim and Celestians. One shoots, one jumps, one burns. Well, if you add missionaries, they all burn things.
Sworn ever to your service when at peace and when at war.
But wait, if you call in the next 30 minutes, we'll give you a 50% discount on your next Exterminatus today.
From the lighting and the tempest, Emperor deliver us.
Since the Guard stronghold is strong, we purge the rest of the planet before moving to Kaurava 2. This will grant us a Celestian squad to counter enemy armor. Evidently, heresy is rather strong in this expansion, as instead of retaining our buildings in each province, it erases anything not bought before each fight. Probably warp-related.
Space Marines, today the enemy is at our door. But we shall not die. No, it is the enemy who will taste death and defeat, as you know.
Our first victims are the Blood Ravens chapter under Indrik Boreal. Now, the uninitiated would assume the Astartes would be our natural allies in this endeavor. It is common sense, after all.
But common sense is for heretics!
Canonically, they won Dark Crusade, which means they killed Lucas Alexander and the Imperial forces under him. Very heretical. Of course, we're also trying to kill the Imperial Guard, but
Imperator Volt!
Boreal's main defense consists of orbital beacons, enabling Marines to drop on top of our sisters. A commendable strategy, if not for the fact that the beacons are poorly guarded and sit next to our base. After clearing out the immediate drop zones, we neutralize the enemy's metal boxes and aircraft, allowing a push for the main base.
is heavily defended by masses of Marines, Terminators, and Predator tanks. Using the expert tactic of sending a living saint to cheese the stronghold, we best the mutants.
We have failed. The Emperor.
Now, skeptics may decry this as unorthodox, but living saints were originally normal humans before being blessed by the Emperor himself. Sounds very infantry to me. War boss Gorguts has taken over the local orc population in the Rockclaw Mountains to wage war. To defeat him, we must fight through several outposts sporting knobs, wartracks, bombers, and squigoths. The initial push is successful, with our sisters securing the relic, or killie spot. Unfortunately, while the knob and wartrack bases fall with ease, the bomber and squigoth bases are too well defended. Eventually, our positions are overrun by superior orc numbers. After spending several days stuck on the stronghold, I use the expert tactic of ignoring the problem and go after the Tau instead.
Take him away! Take him away!
Calm down, son. It's just a drawing.
The Tau under Shah Soreska are entrenched on Nanyanoi. While they possess considerable artillery, the perimeter has yet to be completed, enabling a daring raid into their base. To counter our crusade, the Weebs summon reinforcements via 3 beacons and bombard our positions with a large cannon. While seizing the cannon is possible, it's more a nuisance than anything. Instead, we focus on cleansing the beacons, preventing more Xenos from deploying on the surface. Sadly, their Kroot hordes are overwhelming, forcing a more unconventional strategy. While our main cathedral is overrun, our secondary base is left untouched. Clearly, the Emperor is masking our presence from the enemy. Rather than face the Tau directly, we seize a nearby relic, enabling us to use the expert tactic of cheesing their coalition center with the Living Saint. This enables us to kill the Ethereal and the game crashes. Probably warp-related. After reloading, we gain the Arca Cannon, which weakens enemy provinces before each attack. Though we loathe using such heretical tech for infantry only, a cannon is just a giant gun, and we are the triggermen. The Necrons of Kaurava III are based at coastal Lacrymosa, with a series of monoliths preparing to reactivate. These soulless Xenos are everything the Emperor is not. To defeat them, we must destroy the 4 monoliths before they reach full power. With the addition of the Sisters Repentia, who are into unorthodox interests, we rush the pyramids. In response, the Xenos teleport reinforcements in, but with the might of the Emperor, we melt away their defenses. After the second monolith falls, the Necrons upgrade to Tier 2, strengthening their remaining bases. To counter this, we capture 2 critical locations, freezing the countdown and buying time to mobilize more sisters. Be it a glitch or an oversight, the Necrons don't attempt to recapture the locations until the end of the mission. Mayhaps it is the Emperor's will. Nevertheless, we launch a final push to the northern monolith, using the expert tactic of ignoring our problems to fell the final foul monolith, and the game crashed again. The Eldar witch Kairos has entrenched her forces in the upper wastes. Hiding behind illusions, she hopes to lead our sisters astray. But though the warp is dark and full of terrors, the fire burns it all away. After driving her initial base back, we clear the immediate area of hostiles, including a number of webway gates. After destroying a second webway assembly, the witch's true base reveals itself. We must destroy a series of generators to uncover it fully. Though the way is guarded by turrets, it seems the Eldar have adopted the expert tactic of leaving the on-switch poorly guarded. With the Living Saint as our vanguard, we smash the knife ears and purge the system of their magic. The time has come to defeat the Greenskins. After consulting Confessor Reno, we adopt a new strategy of letting the Living Saint deal with the counterattacks while our forces neutralize the various side bases. Though the Squigoths are tough, the creature's size works against them in tight quarters, and though the brutes send their crude flying machines, the Emperor's light blinds all. With a final push, the Orks are finally expelled, though the coward Gorguts evades justice by crashing the game. For the past few campaigns, General Vance Stubbs and the Imperial Guard have remained entrenched in Dusala Precinct. Disgraceful. The Imperial Guard dies standing, yet these cowards live in hiding. Having just lost 100 Baneblades, Stubbs activates a massive cannon to bombard our positions.
Our original.
At alert level 1, the Guard only sends a small truck to assemble a Baneblade. After 6 successful deliveries, the completed tank attacks. Over time, the alert levels rise and the Guard deploys armor, bombers, and spotters for their cannon. While we can stall their convoys for a time, we must destroy the outposts to end the threat. Despite our efforts, a Baneblade is completed and sent to our base. So taking a page from the Tau stronghold, we secure the nearby relic and build a new chapel. The Baneblade attends mass at our old chapel, allowing a continued push to the remaining convoy bases. After clearing the approaches to the Imperial headquarters, we send the Living Saint with our sisters to cleanse the city of the unworthy, and the game crashed. I can see why people didn't like this expansion.
They come! They come!
Wait, where are the metal boxes at? I was promised metal boxes! Out! Out, you savage!
Sorry about that. The Alpha Legion under That's not a real name. The Alpha Legion under Fire Vase Karen has largely been at a stalemate with the Dark Eldar on Kalrava 4, but with our rear secure, this sitzkrieg will soon end. After driving the Knife Ears to their moon, we bring the crusade to Isolt. The filed Chaos Stronghold is protected by a barrier that destroys all non-heretics. It is powered by 5 shrines to the Blood God. You know, for Chaos Undivided, I'm seeing a whole lot of corn. I guess Lanesh would have bumped the rating up, Anywho, with the city crawling with cultists, we clear out each shrine with a mix of Battle Sisters, Celestians, and Repentia squads. While we disable their Defiler factories, their airbase is incredibly well defended. Instead, we seize the nearby relic, with the Living Saint spearheading our drive to the final shrines. When the barrier falls, a 2-pronged attack seals our enemy's fate. You know, for the Alpha Legion, Charon seems pretty pathetic. Perhaps that's just what Alfarius wants us to think. Only the Dark Eldar remain. Hidden on the moon of Lacune, they've abducted numerous servants of the Emperor's will.
This is step 1! Securities! Now, we take Mokuta! What is step 2?
After raiding their cages, we free our sisters, allowing us to clear the approaches to the main Drukhari base. With our presence noticed, the Xenos deploy foul relics, and the Days? Who cares? It's a Xeno ship. It periodically attacks our base until destroyed, while the relics grant the Dark Eldar powers such as corrosion and the Soulstorm. I get it. Fortunately, it seems they've adopted the Eldar tendency of leaving important things poorly guarded, enabling us to easily disable most of their arsenal. After securing a relic, we summon our angel and launch a final attack on their flagship, bringing it down. With Kalrava purified, it becomes a beacon of victory for the Emperor and a holy ground for all who will serve. We're just gonna ignore the fact there's still a Tomb World right next to us? So can you beat Dawn of War Soulstorm with infantry only? Yes, with our loyal sisters and the Emperor's aid, we prevailed over the mutant, the alien, and the heretic. Not sure what the next series will be about. Age of Empires is on hold since I had a lot of trouble with a decent challenge idea. Emperor willing, maybe Company of Heroes next? I'm thinking some kinda ironic theme, like being a coward. You know, bring back that atheist challenge vibe. I also have a cursed video idea for April.
Will this make me a furry?
Shoutouts to my fellow loyalists, Cladis Marino, Appy Akra, Jen Tuong, Michael Phillips, and Mike Pierce for supporting the channel. Emperor willing, more people will sign up, though
hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and purge the algorithm of the mutant, the alien, and the heretic.